Good morning. Hi.
Hi, how is everyone?
Good. Good, good. How you doing?
Great. I'm great. I'm at Barrett Ranch today.
Oh,
I just thought I would join you guys for a or a soulful stretch.
lovely. Nice.
Phyllis was on. I don't know what happened though. Let me make sure she might be back.
It's been a experience for sure. The kickoff to the new year was
Quite a kickoff, right?
unexpected. Yeah, unexpected for sure.
Mm, yeah.
How are you feeling, Crystal?
I feel good. Yeah, I feel good. I'm on a trifecta today. I did spin class and lifted weights and get some soulful stretching and maybe go for a swim this afternoon. We'll see.
Oh, nice. Lovely.
Hmm.
Mm.
And I think that we're just bombarded by so many things in the digital world that these opportunities to get physical, like get into our bodies and out of our head is just so important. At least for me, I
It,
feel I'm in my
I
head.
think I feel like it's vital right now. It's
Huh?
so vital to just kind of clear a little bit of it too, because it's coming from all sides, all directions. Everything is a lot. And um, I can't even imagine then putting a whole other swirl of things into that, that some of these women and these mothers are dealing with on top of all of that. Because yeah, life is a little intense lately. I mean, it always kind of is, but it feels like there's a lot more just stacking on top of everything. So yeah, moments to slow down and just not think and try not to think too much about everything and just have a moment to breathe and be and process and let emotions flow if they need to.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely, 100%. Well, and I think that's what I was hoping that we would be accomplishing together with you, Renee, this quarter is to just get some clearing a bit. And I'm excited to see this build. I know
Yeah.
how it is when you come, uh, and there aren't a lot of folks. We're starting to do some interesting things. So I know we're recording right now.
Mhm.
In actuality, the recorded sessions sort of kick off when we're all ready. So we do have a video editor that comes in and kind of edits out the beginning of the session. So just want to make sure that when you are starting what we would actually be putting out on YouTube
Mhm.
as our Renee Schwann Soulful Stretch and Strengthen, that you have a moment where you say, okay, let's get started. And then Maddie, at that point is when you could and would hit the record button. And actually it would go the other way. Maddie would, you would say, okay, Maddie, let's get started. And then Maddie would start the record button, and then you would wait a few moments to make sure that it's set and
Mhm.
recording. And then you would go ahead and introduce yourself.
Okay.
I'm Renee Schwann. We're here for a soulful stretch and strengthen. And today, and so think of it like a countdown into a broadcast,
Okay.
kind
Okay.
of like that. Okay. And I don't think I've given much guidance really to either of you about how we do these broadcasts, but we've got someone new coming on that's going to be doing the video editing.
Okay.
So as she's, learning, she's going to need to know what is that moment
Okay.
where I should like cut out
Begin.
the clutter, and go into the broadcast. So So we can either like chat through it and then you can have a recording going, Maddie, and then, give that. But I have found it easier. It's so much easier on the editors.
Yeah.
They're late, they're joining, there's a lot of chatter, it's like all that kind of stuff. And so then if you just sort of then mindfully hit record, then but I don't know how you have it set up, Maddie. You might have it set up where it records automatically. Is well, you're on mute.
I have to, so every meeting, like usually before I let anyone in the room, I live stream to YouTube unlisted because sometimes I feel like there's like bits and pieces that sometimes they'll cut, that even like in conversations, like before we kind of start, that are beneficial. So usually it just kind of records the whole thing and then they'll cut. Oh, there's Phyllis. And then they'll usually just cut, the meditation and then obviously have the separate part. At least I feel like that kind of works best. Just because sometimes I don't want to miss because it takes, I'd say, like a minute or two to like go through like 4 steps to record it. So I don't want to like miss anything if I'm like, oh, okay, we're starting. Give me a second. So that's kind
Yeah,
of
absolutely. So we could talk about the pros and cons to that. Unlisted means no one can find us.
Mhm.
So we'll talk about that as we go forward. But Phyllis is here now. So good
Morning.
morning. Okay.
Hello.
Good morning. How you doing, Phyllis?
I'm doing okay. Thank you, Maddie, for your help getting on.
sometimes it'll just glitch a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm glad we all have working internet this week. We had some little bits of glitches and things last
The
week. And
fires.
so, yeah, it's nice to be together and everyone able to hear each other.
Renee, I enjoyed last week so much. I'm so glad you're here.
Oh, that makes me so happy. Thank you. I'm grateful that it came through because I wasn't sure when I was recording it if it was actually getting through because it was saying my internet was unstable the whole time. So I'm really glad that you were able to receive something from it. Wonderful. Wonderful. Well, I'm excited to bring you some Qigong flow this morning and a little guided meditation. Do we want to go ahead and just get right into it, or do we want to wait a few moments?
I will.
I think we should get right into it. I would love, Renee, if you could say to Maddie, okay, shall we get started? And then introduce yourself and your session, and then just flow into it. And that, again, that will be our cue for our editor.
Perfect, perfect. Maddie, we ready to go? Let's get started this morning. My name is Renee Schwan, and I'm really excited to bring you this week's Soulful Stretch and Strengthen. This morning, we're going to have a more focused practice around Qigong, which is an ancient Chinese practice involving our energy and the flow of our energy. And so these really simple movements and practices help us to drop into our body, clear out some of the clutter that might be going on in our minds, and just allow us to really ground in to a deeper sense of calm and well-being. So we're going to begin today with a guided meditation. So I would invite you to get comfortable, find a cozy seat, even lie down if you'd like. It's really up to you what's going to make you feel most comfortable in your body. And if you feel like you want to close down the eyes or place something like a little pad over your eyes, you're more than welcome to do that as we get settled in. So just take a few moments to find that comfortable space. Get warm if you need it. If you want to give a little cover up or anything to make your body more comfortable. I'm going to invite you to let the eyes soften in their sockets and bring the focus of your mind to the root of your tailbone. Just see if you can focus your mind for a few moments down into the root of the tailbone. And just notice if you're seated or if you're lying down, what is the sensation there at the root of the pelvis? As we spoke about last week, the root of the spine there is the root chakra. And it's sort of the the seat of our body, the base of our body, and one of our rooting energy centers. So we bring our focus down there into the root of the body to ground into ourselves in this moment, to ground into the body, and to give ourselves a moment to release whatever we might have been doing before this moment, and to let the mind be free of anything that might come next. Let us practice releasing any concern of what was there before and what might be next, and give ourselves this moment of presence, this moment of just being with the body, with the breath, and allowing the space for everything that is present here and now. So as we shift the focus into the body, we start to focus on the clearing energy of the breath and our ability to take control of this system of our body. It's one of the only systems of our bodies that we can override. So even though throughout the day the breath still flows, whether we're thinking about it or conscious of it or not, we can slow it down, we can deepen it, we can take pauses. So we're going to explore a little bit of that today, noticing how the breath can affect our bodies and calm our nervous systems. So as we begin to breathe deeper, we keep the mind focused in the root of the body. And we imagine as though we were trying to fill a balloon deep within the belly, all the way up the spine. And just see how that feels to slowly inflate. And then pour the breath out. Maybe it's out through the mouth or through the nose. Just feel that release. And as you sigh it out, give yourself permission to let down anything you're carrying in this moment, anything that might be feeling like a weight on the shoulders or a stress or heartache. Let's just allow that to release with the breath. And we invite a slow, deep breath in to fill up again, fresh energy, expansive energy, sense of lightness. And we exhale. It's not as though we're pushing anything away, but we're just letting it set down for a moment. We're just setting it down. And we breathe in again and we notice where else in the body can the breath expand? Can the ribs press out a little deeper? Can the chest expand a little more? And as we've been working with our breath on the exhalations, trying to elongate the breath out, slowing it down, pouring it out. So just take a few more rounds of this slow, deep breath in and out. And feel it rising from your root. Feel it lifting up through your vessel. And pouring back out, emptying back out. The focus comes back to the root. You feel grounded in the vessel. Starting to notice any shifts that might happen as you slow down and lengthen your breath. And maybe you notice your body sinking in a little deeper to the ground, to whatever you're sitting on. Feeling a sense of softening in any points of tension or gripping. And with each breath, inviting a deeper sense of ease into your body, into your nervous system. And then we begin to work with what we call in the Qigong practice, the microcosmic breath. This microcosmic breathing moves us through all of the major energy centers or chakras along the spine and creates a circular flow. So we stay with the focus down in the root and we empty out all of the breath. And then as the breath begins, we follow the breath from the root up the back of the spine, all the way up the back of the neck to the crown of the head. And the exhale starts to follow the line down the front channel of the body, over the forehead, the nose, the chin, the throat, down over the front of the chest, the ribs, the belly, pelvis, all the way back to the root. The breath again begins up the backside, and you could almost begin to start to imagine this like a light energy floating up your back and then floating down your front channel, almost creating a circle or a sphere around your body. As the breath moves in, it flows up the back of the spine, all the way up to your crown, top of the head. Maybe a slight pause there at the top. And then the exhale flows out as you follow the energy down the front of your body. So you're visualizing this in your mind. As you're breathing in, you're seeing this visual of the breath flowing up the back body, up to the crown, a pause at the top, and then a pouring out of the breath over the front of the body, back down to the root. So we continue this flow in our mind's eye, and you can visualize that again as a swirl of energy flowing up the back and down the front. You can visualize it as a light moving up the back and down the front. Following your breath and the imagery that your mind creates as you feel into this microcosmic breath. And as we work with the energy up the spine, clearing to the crown, we hold for just a moment to pause and then consciously release the breath out, coming all the way back down to the focus at the root. Or maybe we have another slight pause, and then the breath begins again, flowing up the back channel, up to the crown, a pause, and then the release, pouring back out over the front channel, down to the root, a pause, and then the breath begins again. So you can decide how long you want those pauses to be between the breaths. When we fill the body up and fill the breath up to the crown, as we hold at the height of the breath, we hold that oxygen swirling in the body. We hold that intention for clearing, and the exhale pours out the space to release. Not only do we invite the stale breath to release from the body, we invite anything that's ready to release from the mind to flow out. As we become more aware and focused on what is here for us today, what is present in the body. Continue with this breathing as you're listening to the sound of my voice. Keep following the breath up and down, feeling this circular-like flow, and just noticing what it guides you to within your body. Is there areas that feel like they're gripping tightly? Are there areas that are maybe a little achy? Or maybe it's pointing you to the parts of the body that feel full of ease and bliss. Just knowing that there is no wrong way to experience the practice. It's being with yourself and what arises in each moment, each breath. And if the mind becomes distracted by a thought or something outside of this space, just lovingly, kindly, graciously guide your mind back. Begin again at the root. Breathe in slow and deep up the back. Feel the length through your spine as you reach the crown. And then slowly let the breath release again. So we feel this circular cycle, this gentle flow, beginning to move the chi or the energy in our body. Inviting that fresh energy to move to any points that are stagnant, that need to release or open the flow of energy. And we play with that bit of retention at the top of the breath and at the bottom of the breath. As those moments of slight pause or holding allow us to go deeper into our inner inquiry of what is here today, what is present, what is the vessel asking for, what is the energy body asking for. And then from that space of deeper awareness of ourselves in the moment, We can prepare for our practice knowing how much energy we have, what our body needs. And we start to create a deeper intimacy and dialogue between our own mind and our own body. So stay with this breath a few more rounds. And perhaps as you're doing this, you're using the focus of your mind to continue with the visualization of this microcosmic flow, feeling into that light energy moving through your body. And simply noticing how you feel in this moment. Maybe seeing if anything has shifted since we began. If any other part of your body is trying to get your attention. And then take it through one more full breath up the back body to the height of the crown, down over the front channel, back to the root. And then continue with this lengthening breath, but you can just let your mind now move through your whole vessel. Just exploring the physical body and the sensations that are present. And as we do this, it's important to remember that this is simply an inquiry. It's not a space of self-judgment. It's not a space to feel like anything is lacking or that we are doing anything right or wrong. It's simply the space to explore ourselves as we are, and become more comfortable just being present in the body, being present. So we continue to keep this flow of breath as we slowly blink the eyes open. And we find our way to a comfortable seat if we aren't already there. And whenever you're ready to come back on video, if you want to, you're welcome to. If not, you can just follow along without your video on. It's completely up to you. We're going to move through some gentle movement to prepare the body for our Qigong flow. And we're going to begin with the head and neck. So sitting comfortably, relaxing the shoulders down, and sitting up as tall as you're able. And take a deep in breath, still staying with those really long, slow breaths. Bring the breath in. And as you exhale it out, slowly drop chin towards chest. And then as you begin to breathe in, you can start to let your head just move from side to side, really soft. Creating this sort of half moon with the chin. Drawing the chin down towards the collarbones and across towards one shoulder. And then back down and across to the other. Staying with your deep breath and the sensations you're feeling, where you might be holding some things here. There might be some tension here. Just be with that. Just let the body respond to the movement gently and the breath gently. And if it feels okay here for you, you can start to go all the way around in one direction. Starting to find a circular flow with the crown of the head. And then take it softly in the other direction. Just noticing how your breathing is corresponding with your movement. Slow and mindful. When we come back through center, lift up through the crown, and once again, exhale, chin towards your chest. And then take the chin towards the right side of your collarbone and tilting the head forward and down to the right. Feel the left shoulder soften away from the ear. And then just lift the chin from here and tilt the head up and back. And then release it back through center. Crown of the head lifting up, take a deep breath. Then exhale, chin towards chest. Slowly turning the chin more towards the left collarbone. Looking down towards the left hip. Relax the right shoulder away from your ear. And feel your breath moving up your spine. Imagining you could breathe right into wherever your body is giving you sensation. And then slowly from there, tilt the head up and back. Feel the opening through the front of the throat. Take a deep breath. And gently release, coming back through center. Take an inhale to lift and lengthen through the spine. And with your exhale, a tilt of the head to the right ear towards right shoulder. And maybe even taking the right fingers and finding the side of the head and placing just a little extra pressure there. Always being aware of your body and what it's asking for. So we can listen to those sensations when it asks to go a little deeper or when it's asking us to gently ease out. We never want to work deeper into pain or that pinching sensation. So if it's a broad sensation, a broad stretching feeling, we can work into that. If there's any pinching or tingle that's sharp, we want to ease out. So take an inhale, come through center, releasing the palm down. And the exhale takes the left ear towards the left shoulder. Now maybe just here is enough, or maybe we take the palm and place it on the side of the ear, just gently guiding the stretch a little deeper. With each breath, just give your shoulder the opportunity to soften. The neck muscles can lengthen. We try to melt away any tension that we can. And we slowly come through center. And take a breath and extend the arms out to a T. And with the exhale, crossing one over the other and giving yourself a deep squeeze around the chest. Pull the elbows down towards your chest and then pull chin in. And breathe into the back of your heart. Feel that expansion through your fingertips. And exhale, let it all go. Take an in-breath as the palms open. You might even lift the chest slightly, open the throat a little. And then exhale, opposite arm on top. Give yourself another hug around your heart. See how far you can crawl the fingers around to hug your body close. And then pull the elbows down towards the chest and let the chin melt in towards the chest. And feel the breath moving up the back, expanding the back of the heart, softening the neck. Exhale, melt the shoulders down. With the in-breath, the palms are going to open once again. Maybe even a little lift of the chest. Lift through the chin. And then bring the spine back to neutral and just allow the arms to soften down. We're going to shift now into a standing position. If standing is not going to work for you today, you can always remain seated and just do this with the upper body. But we're going to explore a standing position if it's possible. So finding a space where you can come to a standing position and have a little room around you. So even if you're in a chair, make sure that the arms have some space to move around arm's distance. And then from there, we're going to take a soft bend in the knees. So just like you're sitting on a beach ball, imagine you're sitting on a giant beach ball. And if you're in a chair, just kind of feel that sort of bouncy softness to your seat. And then the arms start to come out to a T, and we just start really slowly. So one hand comes towards the shoulder, the other hand wraps behind the back, and then we switch. And we start really gentle with just a tap of the shoulder, a tap of the low back. And there's a little bit of a spring and a bounce as we swing the arms side to side. This is a typical Qigong warm up, just to get the energy in the body warmed up, softness through the shoulders and the spine. So if you want to start going a little faster with the movement, if it feels okay, you can start to let the arms just float through the air and flop around the body. So the best way that I feel to describe this is like your arms become sort of two wet noodles, and you just move your chest and your hips slightly side to side and let the arms just kind of flop, and maybe even start to get a little bit of this smacking sound, just lightly hitting the shoulder and the back body to stimulate the kidneys, to wake up the body a little. So if you want to go even faster and get a little bit more vigorous, you're welcome to. And as you're moving side to side, you can imagine that anything that has been holding in the body, that's been tense or stuck, you kind of imagine you're flinging it away with the arms and opening up the energy flow in the spine. So we're just going to go with that a few more times. And then when you're ready, start to slow it down and just let the noodle arms flop by the side of your body. Taking the feet a little closer together. If you are in a standing position, you're going to look down at the feet, make sure they're about hip distance apart, and you still have a little soft bend in the knees so that the legs aren't locked. And with this, if you are seated, you can still do this with just the upper body. We take the palms, kind of curl them in and cup them like we're holding a ball. And we bring that ball of energy right to the pelvis. And with an inhale, we start to pull the energy up through the body, lifting the palms past the face, and then turning that up towards the sky and pressing up. And then the exhale floats down and around, coming back to that ball of energy in front of our pelvis. The inhale lifts it up. Fingers move past the face, overhead, palms turn towards sky, and we press up. And then the exhale floats the arms down. We're going to do this several more times. So lifting with your inhale. And exhale, pressing out and down. So if you're doing this in a standing position, as you lift the palms up through the body, you're standing tall, pushing towards the sky. And as the palms are floating out and down, you can sink into the knees a little bit, almost like you're sitting on that beach ball a little deeper. And you bring the energy up, press it up, and press it out. So this can be a practice if we're moving through a lot, we've got a lot on the mind, we've got a lot moving through the body, and a lot of outside energy is affecting us as well. We can clear our space, we can clear our body's energy field with this simple movement, just pressing out, clearing, and inviting that fresh energy to flow up and out. Let's do that one more time together. And then we let the arms just release down. Take a moment to breathe, to notice what sensations are present, to notice how the body feels. Take that deeper stance in the knees. So we're, again, if we are standing, we're just imagining we're kind of sitting on this large beach ball. It's got a little bit of bounce. So there's a softness to the knees. And then we're going to reverse our flow. So with the inhale, the palms sweep out, reach up overhead, and then guide all that energy down through the front channel. So we can return here to our microcosmic breathing, breathing up the back body as the palms lift, and inviting it down the front channel as the arms slowly press down. Inhale, sweep out. Notice how you lift a little off the beach ball. And the exhale, bringing the energy down through the crown, all the way through the root. We sink back into the beach ball. Inhale and exhale. Keeping the mind present with the breath, with the flow of the body. Releasing the mind chatter as we center in. Clearing anything that is not serving our body and our mind in this moment. So even if there's something that we'll pick up later, for now, let it release. Breathing in, breathing out, staying present in the body, noticing the sensations as you breathe and move. We'll do that one more flow. Inhale, sweep it out. Exhale, bring it slowly down. And then just let the palms release. Relax the shoulders, maybe close the eyes for a moment. And notice how you feel. Notice your breath. The next movement that we're going to invite in can be, again, done seated, or we can move into a gentle lunge position. So allow your body the space, if you have it, to come into an all fours position to start. And then slowly bring your right foot forward and slide your left knee back until you're in a lunge position. And then as you walk your way up, you can walk your hands up to your thigh or to your knee and feel where you can find the stability in this lunge. So we're giving a little gentle stretch to the back leg and sending the front knee right over the ankle. Now, if you're seated for this, you're just going to do this with your arms. The lower half will just stay in your seat. But if you choose to come into the lunge, you can take a moment to feel your hips level, sinking them slightly forward. And then we place the palms back towards the root, like we have this ball of energy here. And we start to lift it up, this time only to the level of the heart, to the shoulders. And with the exhale, turn the palms and press out from your heart and lean your chest forward. And then sweep the arms around, pulling that energy back into your heart and rooting it back into the seat of the body. So we breathe in, once again, lifting up, bringing that energy to the heart and offering our love, our expression out into the world. And then gathering that up, multiplied, we pull this energy back to our own heart and root it through our body. So we can feel this loving energy pulsing up to our heart, and we offer out this offering of love. And we pull that ever so more multiplied back to ourselves, replenishing our heart and rooting it back through our body. We're going to do this twice more. Inhale. And as the arms press forward, you can really let the chest and the body lean over the thigh. And then gather that energy up and pull it back, lifting the crown. And then exhale, pressing down. One more. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Now we can bring the palms back down to the floor, step the right foot back, meet the knees together. And then if it feels good here, you can take a little movement of your hips, roll the shoulders around, just let the spine release in this tabletop or all fours position. Just give yourself a moment to wiggle out your spine, moving your hips and shoulders, moving your head and neck in any way that feels good. And then when we're ready, we bring the left foot forward, setting up for the lunge position. So it might take a moment to crawl the foot forward, bring the knee over the ankle, and then slowly walk your way up. Take your time to adjust the hips. Make sure the knee feels okay here. And then when you're ready, just let the arms start to feel this ball of energy starting to form at the root of the body. Centered through your hips, long through your spine. We begin with an in-breath, pulling the energy up to the heart, offering our love out into the world, and then gathering that up, even more multiplied, to pull that energy back so we are replenishing our heart, rooting it back through the body. Feel that energy of gathering it up, pulling it up through the heart. Exhale, offering it out. Inhale, gather it back, pull it to your heart. Exhale, roots it down. Keep flowing, breathing in. Release. Pull the energy back and root it down. Twice more. Deep breaths, release everything out. Breathing in, pull it back to the heart and root it through your body. One more. Here we flow up. We release it out. Gather it up, even more multiplied, replenishing the heart center and rooting it through the body. Now here, gently once again, releasing the leg back. If you are coming into the tabletop, if you're seated, you can always just do a little wiggle of the spine or a twist side to side. If you're in the all fours position, shimmy the hips and the shoulders. Kind of feel those undulations of the spine as if you're moving through a cat position, rounding the back. In a cow position, letting the tailbone lift. And then from here, we're going to move into a series of a Qigong flow that is very, very beneficial for internal organ health, especially our kidneys, but overall respiratory and well-being. This flow is really, really good during this time of year when we are kind of battling some other outside sources and forces that might have an effect on our bodies and our well-being. So this flow is best done standing, but can also be done seated. So we'll flow through it slowly first, and then we'll play with it a few times together. This one is a little more nuanced, so I'm going to show you first, and then we'll move through it together. So from a position of either standing or sitting, the palms begin towards the lap. So if you're seated, you can just rest the hands by your hip points. If you're standing, again, they'll be just right here towards the center of the pelvis. And so with the in-breath, we let the palms relax by the side body. Palms are relaxed, fingers are releasing down towards the floor. And with the inhale, we lift the arms up with the wrists very soft, right about shoulder height. And then as if our palms were floating over a waterfall, we release the arms back down by our sides. From here, the palms come behind the back. So you're going to reach the back of the palms by the back of your sacrum, right about the tailbone where we started our microcosmic breath. And that lifts up the back as we pull our palms as far up our back body as we can. We start to curl our fingers in and tuck them into our armpits. So now we have almost like these little chicken wing arms with our fingers stuck under our armpits. We can feel that stretch to the wrists. And then we start to flip the fingers out and reach them out forward, almost as if we're offering two platters out to someone. Then we curl the fingers like suction cups, and we start to lower and release the fingers to lift. Grip and lower, release and lift. One more time, grip and lower, release and lift, and then let it float down. I'm going to show you that one more time, and we're going to go through it with the breath now. So with palms by the sides, fingers, everything just hanging soft. The inhale begins, and the palms float up, right about shoulder height. Exhale, and they wave down like the waterfall. The inhale starts to draw them up the back body. The exhale, we pull the elbows in. Fingers are tucked under the pits of the arms. The inhale, we reach out. And the exhale, we sink and cup the fingers. Inhale, lift. Exhale, cup and lower. Inhale, lift. Exhale, cup and a little bend of the knees. So when you're doing this seated, you won't have a little bit of that lift and lower, obviously, because you're not on your feet with your knees able to bend, but you can still do the movement with the arms. So let's play with this together. Whether you're standing or seated, just let your arms be at your sides. And when you're ready with the in-breath, let them float out to about shoulder height. The wrists are really soft here as you exhale and float the fingers down, sweeping them behind your back. Slide the hands up, inhale, exhale, pull those elbows in. Inhale as you flip your fingers out, serve the platters. Exhale, cup, and then inhale, release. Cup and exhale, inhale, release. We do one more cup, exhale. Inhale, release, and exhale, let it float by your sides. So that one has a little more going on with that. So we're going to try it a couple more times so you can really feel into this flow. We're inviting our chi, our energy in our body to move through any stagnation, to clear out any blockages. So you can really set that intention for yourself as we move through this flow and stay with this really deep circular breath, really elongating the inhales and the exhales. So let's play with this flow again. When you're ready, with an inhale, breathing in, arms float up. Exhale and release down. Inhale, up the back, slide up towards the back of the ribs as much as you can, and then pull the elbows in. Exhale. Inhale, reaching the arms out, palms open. Turn the palms down, cupping fingers. Exhale. Inhale, feel the lift. Exhale, release. Inhale, cup and exhale. Inhale, and let the palms soften down. Let's flow through that one more time. Inhale, up. Exhale, release. Inhale, up the spine. Exhale, elbows pull in. Stretch the wrists. Inhale, serve the platters. Exhale, release, cupping the palms. Inhale, relax the fingers. Exhale, cup the palms and release. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, light through the fingers. Exhale, float the palms down by your sides. Relax your shoulders, take a breath, and just pause there for a moment. Notice how your body feels. Notice if this movement pointed you to any part of your body that was feeling tense or tight. And notice if there's been any shift. Staying with a slow, mindful breath. Take notice of your mind and your body. And from here, if you are standing, come back to a gentle seat. If you're seated and you'd like to lie down, please feel free. Coming back into the space of comfortable rest position. We let the eyes close down. We notice what is here now. And then we bring the focus back to the root of the body, right where we began. The root chakra, the seat of the body. And we begin to breathe the microcosmic breath up the spine, finding the space to pause at the height of the crown and exhaling, releasing back down to the root. We return to this microcosmic breath, and perhaps now we notice our breath has grown a little deeper. Perhaps now we're able to pause a little longer between the breaths. And maybe the breath is the same, and that's okay too. We're just here in this space of deeper awareness, deeper connection to the body, and inviting the nervous system into the space of rest and digest. Coming back into space of the parasympathetic. And just a few simple breaths can offer this reset to the body. Few conscious breaths, focused breaths. So offer yourself a few more rounds of this slow, mindful, microcosmic breath. And notice how your mind visualizes that. And then set the intention for yourself that you'd like to carry through the rest of your day. What energy do you want to surround yourself with? Visualize that now as you're feeling this breath moving around the body like a circular flow, filling your energy field with what you need today. Maybe it's a little more grace for yourself. Maybe it's a little extra love. Maybe it's some patience. Maybe it's just acceptance. Whatever it is for you, take a few moments, breathe it into being in your body, in your energy field. And when you feel ready, you're going to wrap yourself in one more deep hug of appreciation, gratitude, and love. And I may have mentioned this last time, but when we hug ourselves for at least 22 seconds, we release the same oxytocin in our body as if we were hugging someone else. Same with kissing ourselves. So if you want to give yourself a few little kisses, 6-second kisses will also do the same thing for yourself. So give yourself a big extra squeeze, a few extra kisses today. Thank you so much for joining me. I appreciate you all. Have a beautiful, beautiful rest of your day.
Thank you, Renee.
You're so welcome.
Gosh, I feel like I've expanded my breath, my body, my soul. I was kind of like narrowed into this tight little ball, and I just feel bigger.
Good.
In a day is like a good one. Thank you.
And I love the chicken wings. I have to tell you, like pulling up your back body. When do you ever pull up your back body like that? And then,
like a little chicken wing fling.
It's really,
it's such an interesting sensation, but it's such a beautiful flow because yeah, it just it stretches all kinds of things, and we're working meridians that we don't even know about. It's so great.
I was content with just staying in, and now I feel energy. I want to go out.
Oh, yay. Well, I just love seeing your bright smiles.
Great seeing you, Renee.
Have
a wonderful.
I'll see you next week. Thank you, everyone. And I'll try to work on camera angles. Can you give me any feedback on that? Is it okay to follow me? Were you having eyes closed? How was that?
Yeah, no, I thought all of it was wonderful. I have a few notes. I'll send you
Okay.
a few notes.
Cool.
Yeah,
But yeah,
thank
it
you.
was wonderful.
Okay,
Thank you.
wonderful. Thank you so much, everyone.